What would it be like to experience seeing yourself as a baby taking your first steps? And I don't mean just looking at a photo or video, but I mean being in the same room, seeing yourself taking your first steps and seeing your parents' excited expressions. And how would you like to give that kind of experience to your future kids and grandkids? This is not sci-fi. This is real. The technology to do this exists today. This is the Vuze XR. It's a hybrid 360 and VR180 camera. I've been using it since December 2018 and this is my detailed and unbiased review. First, we're going to talk about virtual reality and how it's different from ordinary 360 photos and videos. Then I'm going to talk about the Vuze XR, its specifications and key features, including some features I've never seen in any other 360 camera. I'll also be comparing its image quality to other 360 cameras and VR180 cameras, including the Insta360 One X, the Kandao Qoocam, and Lenovo Mirage. By the way, if you're new to this channel, my name is Mick, and this channel is all about 360 and 3PV cameras. So if you want to learn how to shoot without aiming, or how to capture a third-person view, or how to be transported to another time or place, then go ahead, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Now, we've all seen photos of the Colosseum in Rome, but personally, I never really appreciated it until I got the chance to see it myself. It was only then that I got to realize its scale and its grandeur. And if you've been there, I'm sure you'll agree with me that the photos don't do it justice. Now, there's a funny phrase, right? We say it all the time. The photos don't do it justice. Because we take a lot of photos and they help us remember things. But unless we've been there, the photos don't really tell us what it's like to be there. But now we can get closer than ever to the experience of being there, thanks to virtual reality. Is it like seeing a 3D movie? Or is it seeing a 360 photo or video? The truth is, it's beyond all that. I remember the first time I tried VR. It was the Oculus Rift. I went to a Best Buy to try it out and I put it on. And when I put it on, I was shocked because it felt like I was in a totally different place. And in that demo, you could stand at the top of a building. And here's the cool thing. I felt scared to step off that building, even though my brain was telling me, Mick, you're at an electronics store. You're not gonna fall. True VR is that convincing. It's really one of those things you gotta experience firsthand to understand what it's about. So now let's talk about the Vuze XR. It's a 360 and 3D 180 camera. And in 3D 180 mode, it can create a virtual reality experience. Now, you cannot walk around in that experience, but if you stand at one spot or if you're seated on a swivel chair, then it's actually very similar to what I experienced at that VR demo. So the Vuze XR can capture videos at 5.7K 30fps, 4K 60fps, or 4K 30fps. And at 4K 30fps, it has real-time stitching. It can also take photos at 18 megapixels. The Vuze app has a lot of cool features, including Director's Cut. So in this mode, you use it as a 360 camera, and then while you're capturing a 360 view, you can decide which view to show your audience using keyframing. You can also add voiceovers or effects like pixelate and pointillize or neon edges. The Vuze XR also has pretty good stabilization, but when the selfie stick or monopod is tilted, then the Vuze XR's video is a little bit tilted. I've also noticed some drifting, so at first it will start level, but after about a minute or so, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a roll or tilt. But Vuze told me that there will be a firmware update that will address these issues. Finally, there's exposure blending. As you know, most 360 cameras will struggle to maintain an even exposure when there's a very bright light source. One side of the lens will tend to be brighter than the other. Part of this is flare, but part of this is also exposure blending. And that's one of the Vuze XR's key strengths. It's not immune from flare, but it does have excellent exposure blending that makes the flare seem to magically disappear. Here's a video from the Vuze XR. You can see that one side, the side that's facing the sun, is a little bit brighter than the other side. So that's most noticeable, let's say here in this car. and this is without any correction applied. But when we use exposure blending, here, let's say medium, suddenly the difference disappears. It's as if there's no flare. So how's the Vuze XR's image quality compared to other 360 cameras and VR180 cameras? Well, let's check the ultimate 360 camera comparison tool. So here I'm using the 360 camera video comparison tool on 360rumors.com. So on the left side we have the Vuze XR. On the right side we have the Lenovo Mirage. You can see that the Vuze XR is vastly more detailed than the Lenovo Mirage. And now here we have on the left side the Vuze XR, on the right side the Kandao Qoocam. And once more, the Vuze XR is far more detailed than the Qoocam. In fact, I would say the Vuze XR is more detailed than any 4K 360 camera that I've seen to date. Now this is the Yi 360 VR on the right side. In 2017, the Yi 360 VR had the best image quality except for the Fusion. So comparing the Vuze XR to the Yi 360 VR, we can see that the Vuze XR is still more detailed than the Yi 360 VR. Next, I compared the Vuze XR to the GoPro Fusion with the January 2019 update that increased the resolution to 5.6K. So they look like they have very similar detail. Like for example, if you see the text here and here, they look pretty similar. The detail in the foliage is also similar. The difference is that the Vuze XR seems more contrasty and has much deeper shadows, so that some of the shadow details are lost. For example, in this bush, there's almost no shadow detail on the Vuze XR, whereas the GoPro Fusion has much more shadow detail. Overall, the Vuze XR is very similar in detail to the GoPro Fusion, but seems to have less dynamic range. Next, this is the Insta360 One X on the right side. So with the Insta360 One X in standard mode, you can see this slightly more detailed. For example, this fence around this basketball court has a net on it. And in the Vuze XR, you can't see any of the net at all. It looks like there's no net at all. Whereas with the Insta360 One X, you can see, you can just barely make out the net here, like these grid lines. So the Insta360 One X appears to have slightly more detail than the Vuze XR. In actual practice, you won't see this detail. This is at the maximum zoom, so you probably won't notice it, except that you might say the One X is a little bit crisper. And the other difference is that the One X has much more shadow detail than the Vuze XR. So again, looking at this bush, the Vuze XR has almost no shadow detail, whereas with the Insta360 One X, it has plenty of shadow detail. Let's talk about the Vuze XR's strengths and weaknesses. First, for video quality. So on the plus side, it's got excellent detail for video. Its dynamic range is also pretty good. Video stabilization is pretty good, although, like I said, there's usually a roll and there's some drifting. But Vuze said that they're going to fix these issues. Vuze XR also has the best exposure blending I've seen so far, except maybe for the Theta Z1, maybe they're tied. Another plus is the ProRes export option for maximum image quality and lowest compression. For low light, I found the Vuze XR to be decent. In terms of weaknesses, the biggest issue is with stitching. I mean, it does have customizable stitching, but personally, I think it takes too much time to customize the stitching for videos. The Vuze XR also has a little bit of chromatic aberration, and its white balance is not very accurate when it comes to artificial light sources. There's also no manual exposure, and I find that the noise reduction is a little bit too strong, so that some finer details tend to get lost. Now let's talk about its features. So first of all, I like the director's cut feature, the effects that you can add, including pointillize and pixelate, which I haven't seen in other apps so far. And I love that their app allows you to add voiceovers to your videos. Then there's the waterproof case. I haven't tried it myself, but I've seen it at CES 2019 and it looks very useful. And with this underwater case, the stitching looks decent. One drawback for features is the battery. The battery life is not very long, and secondly, the battery is not replaceable, so you can't swap it out for a spare battery. Now let's talk about ease of use and workflow. So I like the Vuze XR's intuitive controls. I also like its batch exporting from the app, and I like the fact that their videos with real-time stitching can have stabilization in the app. I also like the ability to do a live preview in 3D using the VR180 mode. Now let's talk about downsides for convenience. Number one is that when you're using the app, you cannot view 5.7K or 4K 60 FPS video. And even after you're done shooting, the app won't let you view those 5.7K 30 or 4K 60 FPS videos. Another thing that I wish could be improved is to make it faster to switch between the different resolutions for video, like 5.7K or 4K 60 FPS. It takes too many steps, like around 8 or so button presses. That should be shortened. And finally, the setup for iPhone is a little bit complicated. Like you have to set IP addresses and things like that. The instructions are pretty clear, but it just takes a lot of steps. And I've never seen other 360 or VR180 cameras do that. So should you buy one? So before you answer that question, you need to try virtual reality first. I mean, real virtual reality, at least a Gear VR, if not an Oculus Go or an Oculus Rift. Only when you've tried VR will you know whether it's worth the experience of being there. If you want to have the experience of being there, or you want to share that with your family or friends, then getting a VR180 camera is a great way to do it. Among VR180 cameras, there are several alternatives. Right now, we have the Lenovo Mirage, the Kandao Qoocam, and the Vuze XR. The Vuze XR is the most detailed among them for photos and videos. On the other hand, the Kandao Qoocam has much better stitching and has a far longer battery life of around 3 hours compared to the Vuze XR's 1 hour or less. As for the Lenovo Mirage, I wouldn't really recommend it because it's solely for VR180. You can't use it as a 360 camera. And there are certain occasions when you want a 360 view, either for a third-person view or if you want super stabilization. There are also some VR180 cameras coming in the future, such as the Kodak PixPro Pivot, which is reportedly going to use the same sensors as the Kodak Orbit 360. So 20 megapixels each sensor with up to 4K video per sensor. So I'm expecting that the Kodak Pivot will have a video resolution of 5.7K. But based on what I've seen so far from the Kodak Orbit 360, I don't think that its image quality will surpass that of the Vuze XR. Another VR180 camera that's coming is the Yi Horizon. This camera has been delayed a lot, but I think they're really gonna push it out later this year. The Yi Horizon reportedly uses the same sensor and lens as the Yi 360 VR, so it's pretty good. But as we saw, the Vuze XR has better image quality than the Yi 360 VR, so I'm expecting the Vuze XR to have better image quality than the Yi Horizon. On the other hand, the Yi Horizon does have a touchscreen that provides not only controls but also a live preview, so it could be easier to use than the Vuze XR. The one thing we haven't talked about is how to edit VR180 and how to mix it with 360 and how to share it with your family and friends. So if you want to learn how to do that, then check out the tutorial in the link below. Hey, do you want to watch an actual sample of the Vuze XR VR180 video? Then check out this video. I took the Vuze XR with me to Disneyland, Legoland, and Knott's Berry Farm. Thanks, and I'll see you in 360.